upside down, wrapped in a wrestling mat at his high school gym in southern Georgia. His death was ruled an accidental asphyxiation by state and local law officials. He was only 17 years old. This was back in 2013, and his family still has questions, and they suspect foul play. There's now a documentary film on what happened to Kendrick called Finding Kendrick Johnson, the result of a 4-year investigation into the facts of the case. The filmmaker Jason Pollock asserts that Kendrick's death was no accident.
We opened the body in this particular case, and the organs were not there. Paper had been stuffed into the cavity to fill it up.
Body parts are missing, evidence is missing.
And we tested it, and it was blood. And then we did DNA testing, and it was not the blood of Kendrick Johnson.
If it wasn't Kendrick blood, who blood was it?
We know it was.
If KJ had been white, we wouldn't have had to make this film.
This week, I spoke to actress Jennifer Lewis, who is also the narrator and executive producer of Finding Kendrick Johnson. And I asked her how she got involved in the project.
Well, I was on book tour with my memoir, The Mother Black Hollywood, and I did an interview with Charlemagne the God on The Breakfast Club. A young man asked me to take a photograph with Mike Brown and asked if he could send it to the director, Jason Pollock. He did, and Jason in that photograph saw my passion and called and asked me to narrate this amazing documentary.
Yeah, let's play.
And I want to say this to you.
Please do.
I just want to tell you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. To sit
I can
there
imagine.
and talk about them taking this boy's organs and killing him.
I can only imagine. Let's play a little clip of the documentary for those who are watching.
A 5'10" kid decided to go head first into a 6-foot mat, then realized after he was stuck that he was gonna die down there. And then he died down there, stuck. Somehow silently, with a gym full of kids playing basketball and changing classes around him. Then his shoes magically appeared on the top of his body, inside the mat shoved into the hole. His legs became twisted in the mat.
There are so many discrepancies in this case. The original finding that he died of accidental asphyxiation versus the finding that it was blunt force trauma. The organs being missing. There's so much here. Now, the filmmakers are saying they've found new evidence. What can people expect to learn from this documentary that we didn't already know?
Well, that it was just a cover-up. Mitch Creedle, the whistleblower, who was sent from D.C. to investigate this case, acquired enough evidence that a judge gave permission for an all-out raid into these people's home, the Bell's home. Now, that's a lot of evidence for a judge to give permission to storm someone's house. What happened? What happened after that? They pushed it all under the rug. This is one of the biggest tragedies I've ever heard, that they took that baby's organs, murdered him, and then took his organs. They exhumed the body and found that the child had been stuffed with newspaper. This family has to live with that. And I'm here to tell you right now, I am going to fight for justice for Kendrick Johnson's family until that case is open. We are calling on Biden, the Congress, the Senate, to open this case now that we have this evidence.
Let me play one more clip because I want people to hear the parents of Kendrick. Here are who's called KJ, his nickname. Here are his parents as part of this documentary.
How would you feel if your son went to school and never came home, never returned home, and then the next day you found out he was rolled up in a gym mat?
My thing is to let people know that they have a voice. They don't have to be silent. They don't have to be scared to fight no more. They can speak out.
They killed the wrong child this time. We ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. My baby life mattered.
This case, is one of the most disturbing, I have to say, that I've ever heard about the sense that there's a cover up, the sense that it's a much bigger case than we've even been led to believe in the beginning. You said you've called on the Justice Department to intervene. Is it your expectation that you think that that is going to happen? Do you think it's likely that with this publicity and with you, with your, prominence, do you think it'll happen?
It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Because I'm telling you right now, Joy, I am going to fight. I am going to use my platform for this case. I had that family here in my home. I gave them a big Southern dinner, Valdosta, Georgia. This is where this whole murder occurred. This is the same town where Mary Turner was hung from a bridge they've actually named in Valdosta, the Hanging Bridge. Hung her and cut her baby out of her stomach. It's time for us to stop turning away from all of this. Justice has to happen in this case because the evidence is right there. Imagine being the mother of this child, 17 years old, knowing somebody probably rich and white are walking around with his organs. It's not right.
It's not right. And it would be nice if we had an anti-lynching law in this country. That would actually be nice too, because it feels like that is what we're talking about here. Jennifer Lewis, thank you for using your platform for doing something so important. Thank you for being here.
It is my pleasure. Thank you, Joy, and I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan of yours.
You keep telling the truth, baby. I admire you for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. She's absolutely amazing. Finding Kendrick Johnson, a documentary by Jason Pollock and narrated by the great Jennifer Lewis, is now available on digital and on video on demand. And one final note on this story, Jennifer Lewis mentioned a raid on the home of two of Kendrick's classmates, the Bells. The Bell brothers denied any involvement and were never charged in the case. And an FBI analysis concluded they were in different areas of the school when Kendrick entered the gym.